Hi, it's Beauty's Queen, and I'm back with another vlog. This vlog I am doing today is because I was having this thought. I don't know if I talked about something like this before, but this is how I feel, just period. And I figure I might as well share. So I'm gonna talk about relationships, and maybe I have talked about relationships before. Maybe I have, maybe I have. I don't know. I always think about relationships because, relationships is the essence of life. Every relationship in life you have all these relationships. You have relationships that's short term, you have relationships that's long term, and you have relationships, until death. It's most relationships to death does not cause constant contact. Like, okay, relationship to death could be your parents. They're going to be your parents. You're going to always have relationship with, I guess, your family, but you don't have to also talk to your family every day or every week or every month. Sometimes not even every year. You can go years without talking to family members, but it's still a relationship there. And I guess the close relationship that causes the most of what I want to talk about today is the marriage relationship, partnership relationship. Because some people don't get married. They be together they don't get married, I guess, on paper, but they committed their life to one another for all this time. And I don't know how far I'm gonna get into that, but let's just get started. So anyway, I was thinking about it, and this is what I tell people all the time: is that in a relationship, you have to decide. Like, relationships end because one or more of the parties decide to stop forgiving a person. And that happens the most within a relationship between a man and a woman. What could be sexual or even potentially sexual. Because, like, if you know me, I'm going to share something very personal, but I'm not sexually active. But I have, I talk to guys from time to time, and I be in a relationship with them per se. So anyway, because, I'll be like, deuces. Anyway, okay, let's stay focused. So, what I wanted to talk about was just about the relationships end a lot of times because of the lack of forgiveness that one person wants to give to the other. And people, you see marriages ending or long-term relationships ending because they say, well, this person is this and this person is that. But 9 times out of 10, and this is 9 times out of 10, that person was kind of always that, but you was just forgiving them because you was in this spirit of euphoria, I guess, and you wasn't fault finding per se. So I was thinking about that because in my mind, and I think honestly in life, before you get into a situation, you kind of have to decide before you get into a situation. And when I'm saying decide, like, okay, say in the process of getting married or betrothed or dating or whatever the case may be, before I get into that deep, I have to decide what am I willing or what not willing to do. And one of the things you have to decide is, are you willing to continually to forgive that person? And it is what it is, because some people, you just like, that's in you reached your limit, buddy. I'm over it. But that can't be the case if you are in something that's supposed to, I guess, last forever. Like, if it's your mail carrier, yeah, it's a relationship. However, I guess you should, because it's a person, you should always forgive. But for the sake of understanding, you can cut that relationship off. You can stop doing that. Like, you can stop going to the same grocery store that you've been going to forever, or whatever you do commonly that will cause you to be in a relationship with somebody, at some point you can cut it off, except for certain relationships, and that's marriage and family. And with family, I mean, like, you should forgive your family. You should love. You should let love conquer all the issues. But I do understand. Like, don't think that I don't understand. But what I'm saying mainly is that you have to decide. So I have to decide, am I willing to forgive a person for everything that they do? And I know people say, well, that's too far, but that's not. Like, if I'm married to a man and say he cheats on me, yeah, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot because it's gonna cause issues to arise within myself. Now I'm starting to think, why am I insufficient in some form, fashion, or way? Or what is it? I'm going to look, what is it? Is it something in me? Is it something in him? Is he just a greedy bastard? But I have to decide, will I forgive? And I know some situations, it's like you have to be in that situation in order to decide effectively. But I think that you can overall decide before you enter a situation that you're going to just forgive. Like, sometimes it's going to take time, because a human being, like, I take hits all the time. And when I take the hit, sometimes I recover swiftly and sometimes I don't. And a lot of times what I realize is that with me being the person that I am, and people who, used to me and my personality, bubbly and, full of life and positive, if I don't recover from a situation swiftly, then everybody's all like, oh my goodness. And then they will be like mad that I'm not excited or happy. And I'm like, I took a hit. I have to recover. When you take a hit, you have to recover. So it's not that as soon as a person does something, you're going to be able to just, lay next to them. No, you have to walk out whatever it is that goes along with that. But you have to decide ahead of time what is going to be it. Like people say, your breaking point. Say, like, if you go a job, you decide before you get into that job, this is your job description. Things are set in place before you start it. Like your wages, vacation time, dental, whatever the case is, it's already set so that you won't be questioning when it comes, because it's already answered there. So will you forgive? In a relationship, I know people say, oh, this happened and this happened, and no. There's a principle. The principle is you open your hand to lend what is lacking. And a lot of times, and the majority of the times in relationships, no matter what happens, it's a lack of forgiveness that ends the relationship on either part. And that's just what I want to talk about. I just want to talk about relationships and the need to forgive, and you will understand that it didn't work because you refused to forgive. I know people say, well, you can't be a doormat. Okay. That's true. You can decide that you don't want to be a doormat. That's a decision that you have to make. But then that'll go back to was it a wise decision to be in a relationship with that person in the beginning? Like all the things that you ignored ahead of time, like you have to go in it soberly. You can't go in it and and I said soberly because in my mind, the reason why people don't go into relationships soberly is mainly because they connect intimately before. And I feel like you need to be able to deal with me and or take me as a person before we connect intimately, like as in sexual intercourse. Because like you deal with a lot of stuff after sexual intercourse, but before sexual intercourse, you probably like, nah, I don't want to do that. So, did you go into that soberly, or did you go into that you ran right into it, wrapped up, and now you like, this person sucks because you didn't go into that soberly? So, that's still a decision that has to be made ahead of time. So, I was thinking about that because I think in relationships, everything is every end in relationship is because of a lack of forgiveness. Now, you don't have to forgive a person if you don't want to. If you feel like they wronged you in such a way that is unforgivable in your eyes, because everything is forgivable, but unforgivable in your eyes, well, I guess there's certain things that's considered to not be forgivable. But most people don't commit those unforgivable acts per se in relationship. But you know, some people's unforgivable act is infidelity or cheating, or you know, whatever. They say, if you cheat on me, then I can't forgive you for that. I don't feel that way. Like, of course I have to be in the situation, and then you decide better when you're in the situation. But going in, I wouldn't think, if he cheated on me, I would like be done with him altogether. Of course I would be hurt. Of course I would be feeling like, that's interesting. And a lot of times with women can be spiteful in situations because it just is what it is, and we live life. And do I think that's the right thing? I don't think that's the right thing, but a lot of times you don't always do what's right. Even if you should, or even if you still don't do what you should do. But going in, I would think, no, I wouldn't say this is the end all be all because he cheated. I would want to be, it's a lot of things that I feel like, but I think the most important thing is to decide before how forgiving you're going to be, because that is going to determine it all. So, and that's for our relationship. So, I'm Beauty's Queen, and I'm TWO. Thanks for watching.